a couple of things that go along with it. I'm going to try this one out. Right at the top of this truck, up by the top wing, there's a little round can sitting up there. Some of you might see that. That's a gas tank. 4 tenths of a gallon of gas. Now it's way up there because there's no fuel pump. Gravity feed over to the engine. Opposite side of the engine, it's around too hard, the gas won't splash out on it. Now this thing in the center looks like an exhaust stack. That's a cooling tank. No water pump or radiator like you have today. Simply a thin tank with a partition down the middle. You fill everything up with cold water. You start that engine because the water doesn't circulate, it will soon begin to boil. Then hot water will naturally rise up one side of the tank, pushing the cold water down the other side to cool the engine. Goes around 3 or 4 times, all boiling water. 15 minutes. So hot it's going to blow up. So you can't be up there very long. That was okay. They weren't going far anyway on 4 tenths of a gallon. You see, it wasn't designed to take the trip on. It was designed to prove it could work, and that's what they finally did. All this brings us to December of 1903. Number one, they never intended to be here in December. They wanted it all done and go home for Thanksgiving. They were running 1 full month late. Weather delays and mechanical delays. It was late in the afternoon, December 12th, 1903, when they finally had everything ready to go. Too late to make the camp that day. 13th would be a Sunday, so they wouldn't do it that day. But you can imagine how they felt Monday morning the 14th when they got up. They were finally going to find out if this big thing would even work at all. You see, they'd never tried anything this big before. They came outside, the winds were like 6 miles an hour, less than half of what they need. Now for this thing to count, it's got to take off on flat ground. Coming off the hill's considered a power glide, it wouldn't count. But they had to know if it would even work. So they decided they would shove it up on the side of the hill to see if gravity would assist them in taking off. They didn't care if it counted or not, they wanted to know if it would work or not. So they flipped the coin to see who would go first, and Wilbur won the call. Folks, you got to picture this one in your mind. We got 750 pounds of manned machines sitting on the side of the hill. 12 horsepower and 2 big propellers pushing it, gravity pulling it, and nobody's ever tried this one before, so they have no idea what's going to happen. Well, when they turned the thing loose, it took off so fast that it startled Wilbur. He said all he could think about was running right straight down into that ground. He reared back on that elevator stick as hard as he could to see if it would go up, and it did. Straight up. All up and crashed. 3.5 seconds in the air. He wrote in his diary that night the machine did before wonderful. The man before misery. Make that long story short, it took the rest of the 14th, 15th, and 16th to put it back together. That's how we ended up here on December 7th.